Welcome back to Chicago by Night. Night has fallen over Chicago on this... What's the date again? March 7th, 1991. We're approaching midnight. So it starts at March 6th. Yeah, this is like our third session for the same night. And we haven't really gotten very... because everything is happening. This is what story mode is for, folks. This is what story mode is for. This show is rated R for rock and roll and other things.
Vampire shit.
Yes. Yes.
Now foul diablerie.
Including foul diablerie, yes. I am your storyteller, Mikael Hellstrom on Myth Machine, and with us this time we have...
I am El Duende, pronouns any all. I'm playing as Tony Hernandez, the Bruja gangster. Now currently out to grab second breakfast.
How many breakfasts? Didn't you have 3 breakfasts already? I don't know. Next.
Hello, I am Ender, EM, playing Kate Peretti, apprentice to the Third Circle of Clan Sharia, cult leader, and new dabblerist.
Yup.
I'm Roger. I'm playing Goldtooth Charlie, caitiff gangster, and seeker after Golconda.
I'm Jan, playing Ivy, the venture businessman.
Indeed. Domi is not able to be with us this time, unfortunately, because of vacations.
Yeah, this time they got sent to Ecuador.
I'm just saying, what are those vacations? I've heard of them in legend, and I'm not sure what they actually are.
I think it's like a thing where they put Domi in a cage.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense to me. So, last time, to summarize the session a little bit here, Kate had a moment, let's say, and...
I had a very bad night. And it's only halfway through.
the Beast thought it was a great night. And you managed to unentangle yourself from some unwanted police attention.
Yes.
Yeah. And then you spent, like, hours afterwards just cleaning up the crime scene after you.
Very
And-
thoroughly.
Yes. Also stashing some evidence away. I realized maybe I should have given you stains for staking that one too. But I didn't, so moment is gone.
You can add stains, because it's the same night. I rolled the remorse at the end of the last session, but you want to add fresh stains for that now, do it.
Okay, it feels like a 2, because if I imagine... On the other hand, she's unconscious, right? So when she's trying to... No, this is what's going to happen. If she's unconscious now, she... I don't know that she will actually know about it ever, so maybe it doesn't matter. Anyway, overthinking.
Maybe she'll never wake up.
Once she gets out of her torpor, yes, because she's all out of blood. She's going to try to rouse the blood to wake up the next night when she's already at Hunger 5. If she fails that rouse check, I think she goes into torpor, if I recall correctly.
I mean, doesn't she go into torpor regardless because she's staked?
Stake does not mean torpor. Stake means paralysis.
Ah.
At least in earlier editions, I'll double check it for V5. Things are confusing with the V5 sometimes. Anyway, Sylvester was being tailed by the same type of suspicious toughs in a rust bucket that some of the rest of you all have been tailed by for the past couple of nights. But he managed to set up some kind of scheme to put them in a bit of ambush and then ran up, slashed their tires, and escaped by sprinting to Leo's car before they had a chance to react. Sylvester has also reported these stalkers to the police as if they're stalkers of Sylvester's rock band and not Sylvester personally. It might not be that the police will react to that immediately, but eventually I'm sure they're going to get to it. And Tony took the prisoner to the Barrens and released him, traumatizing the poor fellow. But you did release him. in the Barrens. So that was a long trip out to the nothingness of between Chicago and Gary. And then you noticed that, in fact, you were being followed as well. You shook the pursuit with a messy critical, which led you to being pursued by the Chicago PD for speeding on the highway in a reckless driving, basically. But once again, you managed to roll really well on your driving check and elude the police too. Charlie has been holding the fort at the Haven. Everything is prepared for surveillance, which you were supposed to get to, the place where your prisoners said that the gang met with their employers. Charlie also had a chat with Mr. Herndon, the dealer of the Apocrypha. This item is not quite ready for sale yet, but he would reach out as soon as he had it in his possession. And that was basically it. I know that over in the Haven, we put Jan there for a while, but I also know that Jan has a meeting with a union boss, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's like tonight. If it's 12 in the morning, if it's still like 12, that's like the next day, something like that. Like
No,
after sunset tomorrow, if you get my feeling.
I had marked it for this night, so yeah.
Oh right, then it's this night. Great,
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Oh.
It's perfect, yeah.
I guess that means.
Oh, now I can start doing things again. Okay.
Yeah, that's the next
Just-
day for sure.
like-
Because the last time you told me it was tomorrow, so it's the next day from the last time I was here.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, great.
So
Even if you're going to do someone else first, just tell you that Charlie and I are going to leave the bridge and start heading towards the site where we were supposed to meet.
indeed.
What is this about meeting the sheriff? I don't remember this.
But it's not the. I don't think it was the sheriff. It was the not Ballard. I wrote them down. It was the prince's confidant, the prince's second, Nearly. Because we spoke to Nearly, didn't we?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
spoke.
Nearly came to the Haven. Did
left.
his
No, we were
thing
supposed
and
to meet
left.
with Nearly at the place that Raymond Calder directed us to. That's what he said to do. Am I misremembering that?
Yes, because Neely left Ivy to be the liaison to do this.
So we're doing this on our own, pretty much.
Yep,
Oh, okay. My bad.
but that's okay. So Ivy is going to have a quick meeting with a union boss earlier in the evening. Somehow.
Alright, I guess flashback.
A little bit. Not that much.
Flashback where you
like...
come back to consciousness in the office and find a sticky note on your back.
Oh. Okay.
This all happens, so let's see now. This happens like... This was supposed to happen at 7 in the night.
Yeah.
So it's like shortly after Ivy wakes up, basically.
Yeah.
So he's going to be back at the Haven when all the weird stuff is going on, and you're going to find him there anyway. So he just gets to the Haven a little bit later than originally intended. What are we
And never mind.
What are we going to do with the union boss, Mr. Davenport?
Okay, so I'm gonna try something. I want to flush a life. I want to explicitly say I flush a life before I meet this guy.
That might be a good idea.
Start rolling.
Yep.
Oh.
That
Okay.
is going to be
No.
your rouse check, of course.
Yes.
Oh, that works just
Uh,
fine.
Okay.
Alright.
I don't know what's going on, but I can't see my dice, so you'll have to tell me what the results are. I can just look. Actually, never mind. I'll just have to stay on this page, but I'll be slower seeing my results than usual. Okay, so I'm gonna meet this guy at a semi-important. What's the vibe I'm going for? Like a place that was like Michelin star, but 10 years ago.
Ah! A fancy restaurant of some kind.
Yes.
Okay, why can't I... It's not gonna be the meeting with the family, obviously. But, yeah, fancy restaurant. It's... You're not the only one here. People are here because they are just engaged in talking to each other and having a nice supper and all of
Yeah.
the typical
All I'm
things
going
you
to do is talk to this guy.
Yep, and he's sitting down with you, and Mr. Davenport, what can I do for you?
You know who John Fitzgerald was?
I suppose, he says.
John Fitzgerald actually worked for, I think it was my great-grandfather. He used to shoe some of the horses we had for transporting meat back in the day. Anyway, apparently they were great friends when John Fitzgerald became like a shop steward and he started running the unions in Chicago, the CFL, as I think it was called back then. And the two of them got on apparently well enough for the times.
Uh-huh.
And then about... I didn't know this, of course, because this was well before I was born. And probably yourself. Anyway, so a couple of weeks ago, I get this letter from these guys who say they represent the John Fitzgerald Trust, right? And they say that it's been run by like a bunch of union guys since it was set up, I think, in the 1930s as some sort of strike fund or something. But if there's an impasse, he gave my grandfather the casting vote, like a tie-breaking vote. And apparently I inherited that with my grandfather. And they're stuck over who to invest their money in. See, you know John Fitzgerald was a strong union man. He wasn't into the mafia's involvement into unions, and he wasn't into our friends in Russia's involvement in unions. He wanted American unions run by American workers.
Yeah, of course. That's how it's being run now.
And the guys who run the thing now, they think that the AFL is too controlled by the mafia and that John Fitzgerald wouldn't want the money going to them.
What exactly are you implying here?
I know that you're with the IWW,
Yeah?
right? And you guys in the IWW, you're always accused of being a bit too close to Uncle Mikhail. And if
We ain't got nothing to do with that.
if you could help me have a look at your accounts, then I could see that you're not being run, and I could sway the vote so that the John Fitzgerald money goes to you guys in the LWW instead of the guys in the FL. Like, this is money that could work as strike funds, could work as whatever, helping a welfare program, whatever, piss up at Christmas, whatever you want. One condition is that you can't be getting money from the Cometron as well.
What can I say? I don't exactly know what you're talking about. We don't really have any connections to Uncle Mikhail, as you say. Gee, isn't the Cold War over now?
That's what they want us to think, mister. If you've nothing to hide, surely there's nothing can be exposed for letting me having a look at your accounts. It'll just be a few days, and then I'll give the thumbs up to the guys who run the trust, and you'll be getting I don't know what it is, but it was a significant amount of money in the 1930s. It was built up as a strike fund, as I would say.
Let's see. Let's test his metal here. You're obviously going on a manipulation binge here.
Subterfuge,
oh
yeah.
my god.
Because I'm making this up.
That's-
But I have prepared this lie, because I was preparing this lie ever since 2 or 3 months ago when I started this. I was
Absolutely.
preparing this lie.
I'm gonna say this guy. Yeah, given just how sly you are. Now, of course, this guy is supposed to be working for one of the Anarchs. That's why you're targeting him. At least that's your guess.
Yeah.
So it can't be too easy. On the other hand, so I'm gonna say he is suspicious, which gives us a +2 difficulty here. So just going on take half, this guy would be Composure, insight. So that would be okay. You're still gonna get away with it because, yeah, he would still be at like take half 2 + 2. That's 4, and 4 is exactly take half for you. So he's gonna actually be someone who is slow. Like, he starts very suspiciously, and over time he gets almost too eager to prove to you that they are absolutely not. We're totally clean. We're totally clean. I'm telling you, there's nothing to do with us and the Ruskies. We got it all wrong. And we haven't been, and not the unions are clean nowadays. We're not in league with the mob either. We're strictly working power now. Yeah, absolutely. Where are you going with this? So I guess he's gonna take you down to the offices afterwards, or gonna invite you to the offices at some point.
I can say I will send my assistant tomorrow, and she'll bring the papers to me. Because obviously we don't have them. I don't have them. This is a fine dinner. Why disturb it for work? Work can wait till tomorrow.
Work can wait till tomorrow. Yeah, he appreciates that, and he's gonna. I'm very pleased to see the Davenport's getting involved in union business again. Because, yeah. I have to practice a Chicago accent because it's difficult.
Oh, I have to practice one too. Say, in my mind, people in Chicago talk like they're from Cork. It's just a weird coincidence.
Yeah. So that is mission accomplished as far as Davenport is concerned. He has taken a step into infiltrating. You know what? We're going to. This is just a momentary jump into our. I don't know why my Foundry is acting up a little bit today. I can't access my maps the way I wanted to normally. I have to use a different machine here. So we're going to start up a project infiltrating the Chicago unions, aren't we?
I thought I'd started a project like that, didn't I? It was something I definitely started.
Oh,
a
right,
project.
Anarch Union Finance Project 4 failed. Yeah. Yes, you alerted the Anarchs. Okay, that's fun. You know what? Since you alerted the Anarchs, maybe something happens as you're leaving the nice restaurant.
Okay, maybe something happens.
Yeah, I have a feeling.
Just like something happened to Paul Castellano when he was leaving Sparks Steakhouse.
Hey, if that happens to me, I'm fine. I'm a vampire.
Yeah, that's not the kind of thing that's going to happen. Who is going to happen to you, though? That's the question. Let me think. I'm sure it's going to be perfectly harmless in every shape or form, because we have several candidates here for happening to you, let's just say. And I'm thinking perhaps could it be him? Quick check through my notes here. Okay. Outside, as you are leaving the Union guy, there is in fact going to be a gentleman who looks a little bit like this here as a picture. We have a picture here. He is dressed in a ruffled suit, really. Short and stocky. Short black beard, speckled with gray. The suit is definitely off the rack. And he's looking at you, and he's talking to some other people there. They seem also union people, and as they're seeing the union boss you were talking to, they're gonna just shake each other's hands and, oh, good evening, how are you? Yeah, great to see you. Yeah, and then, so it's obvious to Davenport here that this group of people are also colleagues of the very union boss you just talked to. And this particular union boss, he must be a union boss, right? Because he's here, has also done Blush of Life, obviously. There we go. And he's gonna have a look at you, and why don't we see here? Davenport, you have some wits and awareness, way too few dice. Okay then. If you want to roll wits and awareness, you're allowed to. You're gonna need 2 10s for this one.
Since I'll be wearing a chance one die, since I don't have anything, it'll be -3 because it's a skill, it's mental.
Nope.
So-
That's earlier editions, I believe. Or is it like Requiem rules?
Yeah, it might be Requiem rules.
There's so many editions of Vampire Play, you guys.
Okay, I guess I'll have to put into my awareness. But you know what? I will just say I fail. I don't want to risk
That makes sense.
frenzying or just say I fail.
Yeah, this guy, he's just gonna shake your hands and introduce himself. Good evening, Mr. Davenport, is it?
Yeah,
He looks a bit
Stephen
tired.
Douglas Davenport IV, at your service. May I have your name?
Of course. Yeah, my name is Przygolewski.
Przygolewski. Is that a Russian?
No, Polish.
Oh, Polish. Oh,
He seems
how
a
do
bit
you feel-
insulted.
How? Oh, so you must be a big Lech Wałęsa fan, I guess.
Lech Wałęsa, yes.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. That was a jam mistake. Not a. I wouldn't would have pronounced it properly.
Yeah, Polish names are a nightmare to pronounce.
And
I have the benefit of having dated a Polish lady once in my youth. I got the tutorial.
yeah. Yeah, imagine if you date a Pole, it's either get the tutorial or you get your head bashed.
Pretty much.
Just for my notes, what are the names of both the union boss Ivy originally met and this new guy?
So this new guy calls himself Przygolewski. And the original guy was O'Connor. Daryl
Yeah,
Big
Red-
O'Connor.
Yeah, I remember I've written him down as Red. Apparently, his name is Red because he's
Yeah.
a bit lefty. A bit more
Yeah, a
lefty,
little bit. Yeah.
as we say in Ireland.
Yeah. Now I need to roll a secret check here. Because I can. Mr. Davenport, I'm very happy to see that you are interested in union activities. Does this mean we can expect maybe contributions to the union treasury? Everything is always welcome when it comes to the fight for the working class.
It's my sister that really runs the charitable funds, but I have a few the charitable trusts. That was whatever the whole thing. I could complain about her for the next 3 days, and not run out of topics. But I do have some discretionary charitable funds that I could direct to the right organization if I was satisfied with their bona fides.
That sounds excellent, he says. Why don't we exchange business cards? And he's gonna give you a card and wait for you to give him yours.
Okay, I give him my card. Okay, I'm gonna. Will it be? I don't know. Okay, I'm just gonna have to try it. I'm gonna try to establish eye contact with this dude and try to impose a dominant on him. If you get me.
Oh, you're gonna try to dominate him?
Yeah.
Oh my. That escalated
Oh, wow.
quickly.
Wait.
Yeah.
What are you trying to tell him to do?
Actually, that's a good point. I don't have a plan. Forget I said that.
You're trying to employ mind control without giving any instructions.
The only thing I was thinking, if I mind control him, then
Your order's gonna be stand by and await further instruction.
yeah, and I just walk away or something like.
And that's a high. Listen to whatever I'm saying and await further instructions. That's a high tier power. Not what we
Yeah,
have.
no, I would just say what I was going to do. Oh, but I forgot that dominate actually doesn't blow you to do that. I was going to actually ask him, is his name really Prostrevsky, just to see was he lying to me. Dominated, but I forget that he wouldn't be able to answer that question. So yeah, forget I said that.
Ask that. Is your name really like that? And please tell me the truth. And then that would be a dominate check.
But I thought that they'd have to they can't really talk if you're dominated, according to the
No, they can carry out.
They can require
the
actions that don't
instructions-
require thinking.
Yeah, the instructions must be carried out immediately to the victim's best ability. So if you tell them, tell me the truth, then they will tell you the truth.
Is it worth chancing?
That's the question.
Keeps things interesting.
Flip a coin.
You know what? I will try it because they very rarely dominate
Alright then.
people in this game. So let's
Very
do it.
well. Roll a rouse check, because that's needed. Because this is mesmerize. You're not getting
wonderful.
hungrier. Then true blood is strong, is it not?
Apparently.
Apparently. Also, next question is for you to roll, because that's how it is. Manipulation plus dominate versus the subject's intelligence and resolve.
Whatever. Yeah. And if dominated, is this right that if you're dominated, you don't know it like at the time even, unless they say something?
You don't know it until it ends, but it ends in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
The subject of
less.
domination may or may not know what's going on, depending on how much they know about. Like, a regular, average human is not going to have any clue about what's going on because of the masquerade. Non-average humans, kindred, werewolves, mages, they might well know what you're trying to do because of their heightened state of awareness.
Okay. But we're not in a thing. I think I'll blood surge as well.
Very well.
At the very least, the stupid shit you're doing right now does give a really good explanation as to why the Anarchs know about you.
They already do, you know.
Well,
That's why
this
they're
is like the reason, the setup. This is a good setup as to why they know you. Oh.
3 successes. Let's willpower this.
Here we go.
Yep.
How do you reroll again? Sorry.
It's the right click on the chat window, as per always.
Yeah, willpower reroll.
And the
One.
aggressor wins. That's annoying. Oh my god!
Ooh!
That's a lot of dice.
Like
Well,
it's
that's
resistant.
6 successes.
I hope I win now because that was a lot of. That's willpower and a blood surge, and
Yeah.
I had to rouse to even do it.
Yeah. Let's have a look here.
Because they can do the same things as well.
I think it's not really physical provocation,
No,
but it is
it's-
some kind of is it? Yeah. Some kind of harassment.
Yeah, this definitely does feel like some sort of frenzy.
Stepping on some toes here. Some slight little toes. Maybe?
Yeah, maybe on the
I
detail.
can
just
say
a
I
little
didn't
bit.
know he was a vampire.
You did not know. That's life sometimes, isn't it? Is that?
Did a little fucky wucky.
Yeah. Ah, dang it. So.
And it's like
excuse me for a
it's like generation.
second. It's taking too long. Dice equal to. Okay, great. Yeah. Apparently, nothing terribly bad happens at the moment. You're looking into his eyes and you're asking the question, and he's captivated by your gaze for a moment here and says, "No, it's really Tarnopolsky. Joshua Tarnopolsky." And now he is very grumpy at you. And I hope you will not do that again, he says.
I would need
Taking
to
a step-
if you didn't lie to me.
Taking a little step closer. You see, me and my friends here, we do not take kindly upon interference in union matters from the upper class, he says. And he's gonna try a charisma intimidation check on you. You know what? Make it manipulation intimidation. I can assure you that we will do what we can to protect ourselves from any such activities. And because it turns out that he's actually not entirely human, which you have probably figured out by now, given that you actually had to roll for that. There was resistance. He just didn't fall for you immediately. Okay, he doesn't have Daunt. I need to get this guy Daunt. Very sad.
Give it to him. Mikhail, I'm not standing over your shoulder. If you want this guy to have Daunt, just give it to him.
And I just looked him up on Loading's list, and he's Ancilla. And his sire is an elder who controls O'Hare Airport, and he's a primogen. And Loading suspects her of killing somebody called Proset.
Oh, fuck.
Well, how are you going to resist this obvious intimidation attempt, Mr. Davenport?
Can I fake being intimidated?
I guess you can.
That feels like a subterfuge roll, yeah.
Yeah, so composure subterfuge then.
Honestly,
To be
that
fair,
feels
that means
more
you'll
like
still be
charisma.
intimidated. You
Now
just
there
won't
were several
look it.
people speaking at once.
Oh,
Since you're like acting and pretending, that feels honestly more like a charisma or manipulation.
No, this is
Right.
this is a social defense, so it's composure.
And that makes sense, yeah.
It's
All
how
right,
he
forget what I
keeps
said.
his cool. So composure subterfuge.
Although, to be fair, you will still be intimidated. You just won't look it.
no, I'm like pretending he's successfully intimidated me.
Roll
Oh, yeah,
This is about how many willpower points you're going to lose in superficial damage too. So composure and subterfuge, please,
Okay.
as you're trying to keep your dignity.
Yeah. Dignitas is very important for Ventru.
It is indeed.
Let's see what I get.
Not great.
Not great at
Possible
all.
BC failure. Yes. This is exactly what I wanted to happen.
Do you want to
Absolutely.
have a
Let's re-roll that actually. Why not?
Spin the wheel. Oh, nope.
willpower?
Yeah. Why not?
Spin the wheel!
That didn't work out. That's a bestial failure.
It says
Because you're going to take 2 points of willpower superficial damage. Because he is genuinely scary. You are meeting here old world labor union boss who is not afraid to get his hands dirty. The reason he's wearing a rumpled, cheap, off-the-rack suits is because he's probably expecting to get it dirty very often and has to exchange it because of all the blood that will splatter over his suit when he punches bullies like yourself really hard and fights against the upper class with fists and words. He's short and stocky, and that stockiness is probably a lot of muscles, really. Or at least used to taking a lot of beating from the police. Yeah, he's a bit intimidating. And also, let's give you a compulsion, shall we?
okay.
Paranoia compulsion. That's great.
I love it.
Yes, we love all the compulsions. So, a paranoia compulsion, which is very appropriate here. I think this is basically your beast telling you to get out of here immediately, and if you don't, you're going to have -2 on everything. As long as you're in this encounter, you have -2 on things, because you're just scared of these guys now. Like, they're onto you, and they're gonna do bad things to you.
I'm going to make polite goodbyes and leave.
That makes sense. Yeah. Mr. Tarnopolsky seems very pleased with this. And end scene. And that is how we're gonna get ourselves back to the rest of the crew. I don't know, Ivy, you will have been at the Haven and seen people. You would arrive at the Haven at maybe 9 or so in the evening and seen people coming and going.
Oh, no.
Yeah, go ahead.
Also the same night. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, Eldoenda.
All right, it was also the same night. Later on in the night, you then did the meeting with Sinbad, and my reaction to that, like after you, like I learned that you said I was basically just to silently enter my room for a bit.
Yep. Yeah, you've met with Sinbad and tricked him up the wazoo. At that point, you got yourself the harm compulsion that you're now carrying. So, like, he was, how dare you, this low life and all that. And then we have, I guess, Tony arriving back now. It's about midnight. Because you've been out cruising with people, haven't you?
Yeah. Okay, then I guess we're back to before I did the post-it note thing.
Before the what?
Where I put the little sticky note on Shan's back. Are we retconning that?
Maybe.
Okay, then. That's fine. That's fine. I guess I'll be back here for plot important stuff.
You've done your run out to the Barrens, and you're back now, and where is everybody? Ivy is here, and nobody else. Though
Yeah.
Charlie and Kate went out to something that Kate had to do. There was some kind of business going on there, yeah.
Was that a question or?
No,
yeah, I
that's
missed that.
that's basically all that Ivy knows about what Kate is doing, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
can you say that last sentence again? Because it just sounded like one word to me.
Oh. All you know is that Kate is out on some kind of business.
Oh yeah, thank you.
And you don't know what kind of business it is, because she didn't tell you much.
I guess we should probably get rid of Ramon here.
Who's Ramon?
He's
This
all-
guy.
Oh, no, but that's not Ramon. That's one of your local guards.
Oh, okay, sorry.
But he's
Oh, yeah,
also
you're
not
right.
in the Haven, so it's fine.
Yeah, and oh my god. Never mind.
Anyway, it's Tony and Davenport in the Haven at midnight. Yay!
So, Tony, you were assaulted, right?
Yeah, last night.
Did you get their names?
It's none of your business.
But if I offered to help you out.
Look, it's not your problem.
Whatever. So, try to be nice.
Does this mean that everybody is actually getting together at the same time and place finally?
I guess.
Tony and Kate are still under a bridge.
Yes, waiting for someone to turn up, but so far nobody has turned up.
Oh, by the way, Tony definitely packs up, if he can, a trash bagger with him, just in case.
Okay, for reasons.
You'll understand later.
Of course. What kind of notions do we have here for, like, any plans? Or are we just switching to Charlie and Kate, who are sitting under a bridge for an hour and a half waiting for someone to turn up? The waiting game, as it were.
Yeah. The waiting game. Let's fast forward to something interesting.
Okay. The waiting game. Yeah, under a bridge. Where absolutely apparently nothing is special is happening. Kate and Charlie are just sitting in the car, and is this how police feel like when they're doing a stakeout? Because, yeah, the hour and 30 minutes will pass. And whoever was supposed to turn up here has not turned up. Of course, it was Edge who told you to turn up here. And
So
Edge
maybe
is
it
now...
was that guy.
Edge is now here in spirit, in the worst possible kind of way.
Could I try to figure out what he was planning here?
You do have access to some of his memories. It's very fresh in the back of your mind. His personality, his whole
shtick.
And you have sense of the unseen on top of it all, too. So why don't we do here... Intelligence, insight, and I'm going to give you a bonus die for sense of the unseen, because I'm nice that way. As you're sitting in the car and having basically nothing else to do, I guess.
Add all specs, because I only got 1 dot of all specs.
Three successes. Not too shabby.
I'm actually gonna re-roll that. Just
Okay.
because I've got more willpower now.
That's pretty good.
4.
I'm just taking some
don't-
notes for no reason.
Suspicious notes taking. I am taking notes about your notes.
That is fair. That is very fair indeed. So, Kate, you're sitting there in the car. Charlie's sitting next to you. Nothing.
All my notes are is that Kate's a fucking idiot.
Suspicious keyboard noises. You know what? I really need to get myself a silent keyboard. That's what I need. One of these days I will.
I need to get myself a louder keyboard.
No! Not at all.
That is a weird thing I've noticed. How many streamers seem to have clicky keyboards?
They're
like,
mechanical
If
ones.
you knew you were going to be doing that, why don't you just have a spongy keyboard?
Yeah.
A lot of people like the feel of mechanical keyboards.
They aren't. It's a nice feeling, but I just got the cheapest one when my old keyboard died, and that was before I was streaming, so here I am. Anyway, you're gonna look back into the memories of someone you just ate, literally. It's gonna be flashes of ideas, flashes of scenes. Oh, this is like an in memoriam, isn't it? We haven't done any in memoriams in this game yet. I think it's time we bring it out, isn't it?
Sure.
Why not? It's not your memories, but what does it hurt? A little bit, maybe. The rules demarcate as they do most things in terms of dots. The answer to a... Okay. We don't have memoriam background here for you.
I should probably have also the first floor.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we should definitely add that. That's a good point. So... Vampires... Okay, so you need to do a rouse check as well to do this properly.
Okay. Oh, I get hungrier.
Oh no. And you roll... What is it? Allow any possible... Why doesn't it say what you roll here that I can see immediately? Gee, I should know this off the top of my head, but I don't, because we haven't done this until now. Always, they're very well written, aren't they, the rules?
Perfectly well written, perfectly formatted, as always.
Yes, as always. Okay, roll a willpower check. No, but you already rolled the thing, so it's fine. I already had you do the thing. Alright.
The willpower check's a different pool from
Yes.
whatever you ask me to roll.
But anyway, what are we trying to remember here? What's the goal?
I want to know what he was trying to get me to do. Like,
Okay.
I know he was trying to get me to be under this bridge. I want to know why he wanted that.
Makes sense.
And it's a recent memory as well.
It is a very
So
recent.
I'm hoping that helps.
You're gonna have flashes. You will see him looking at Stephanie. It's his child. He loves her beyond comprehension. There's like true love between the two of them. The way they're looking at each other. The way he is looking into her eyes and she is looking into his. You can see, these are images that are coming at you almost randomly. There's no particular order in terms of chronology or anything like that. At one moment, you feel yourself playing the saxophone and just being completely in the zone, and the music is just filling every fiber of your being. And on another moment, you're standing at a very nice cocktail party. You see all the beautiful people around you, and she's laughing at you. She's laughing at you. Annabelle is laughing at you. And the heartache of that moment, or those moments, is just shredding right through your very soul. Later, there is a conversation. He's talking to someone over the phone. So you have it soon? Yes, it will be in my possession very soon. I'm very happy that you are interested in this. Great, just tell me the moment you have it. And then you see him sitting in a car looking at your haven together with Stephanie, and just, these fuckers, they're not gonna get it, I'm telling you. But we'll tell them off. We'll convince them, right? We'll convince them. This is our thing. And we'll just talk to them at a secluded place. I'm gonna go up to their car, and we're gonna talk to them and at a secluded place, and it's gonna be fine, Steph. It's gonna be fine. And then we'll get them off the scent, and we'll have this all sorted. Everything will turn out fine. And then he leaves the car, and that is the last bit. And because this is rather a traumatic memory, I'm going to give you 3 points of superficial willpower damage for...
I don't get to resist it.
Nope!
Understandable, yeah.
How would you resist it except having more... There is no soak roll in this world.
This is a form of social.
Composure... Insight, maybe?
Or maybe Composure or Cult to deal with this?
Nah, Composure
Mine
Insight.
feels
Your
more
literal
like,
insight is in mind.
Fair. Okay.
You've never been inside anyone's mind before.
No, they're in my mind, to be fair.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. You've never had someone in the back of your mind before. This is a very intimate and unusual and horrifying feeling, probably.
Yeah, okay. I'm also going to rouse the blood, because...
Because...
Let me just... That...
So 1, then, I guess.
No, let me... There we go. 2. Oh, 3 successes.
Yeah, so the result of it is still 1 less willpower than you had a moment ago. Charlie, what is Charlie going to notice as you're doing this?
I guess it may come off as bleed, where I start talking in his voice for a second.
Makes sense.
As I'm not aware that's happening, because I'm doing this whole... I'm trying to tamp down on a personality mentally, and I'm just like... It's okay, Stephanie. We'll just talk to them, we'll get them out of our hair, and we'll make sure we get the book.
And you
But
know
I'm
what?
saying it in
Just
his
to make
voice.
it extra eerie, yes, it's in his voice. It's not Kate's voice anymore. It's Edge's voice. And Charlie has never heard his voice.
And
It's
he'll never hear it again.
a manly voice speaking out of Kate's mouth.
Oh.
At which point, like, I get to the end of it, I, like, bite down on my tongue a bit, and I was like, sorry. Sorry, Charlie, this has been a waste of time. We've got other stuff to attend to. I apologize so much for bringing you out here. I thought there was someone to meet. I don't think they're coming.
Who was this supposed to be? Who put you onto this?
I was just delivered a note, told to come here, and they're not here, and at this point I don't think they're coming. But I think right now the lead, like, we should focus on getting that book. I know how much it means to you.
Yeah.
So she's doing several lies of omission, but she is telling the truth.
And Charlie's not going to bring up what he just heard.
Yeah, she may not be aware of... I don't think she is aware of what she was just doing.
That makes sense.
And just Charlie will just, presumably as we're just driving off. And Charlie will say, "Oh, hope that this book is something." Imagine what it's going to be like to be free of all this vampire shit. Not feel the hunger again the same way. Not go into a rage just because a vampire is nearby and has an opinion. Just be free of it all.
I get that, I do. But there's power here. True power. Like, sure, we may be shackled to some aspect of our personality, but what mortal isn't? But we have the ability to just change what we want. Obviously, violence is a way some people try to do it, but we have a greater weapon. We've got time. Time will render mountains to dust. And we've got it.
Kate, roll me a Composure subterfuge as you are trying to just smooth everything over completely here. Goldtooth Charlie, why don't you roll me a Wits and Insight? Add 1 for your heightened senses, please, in this case.
Could I add ore? To get him to focus on what I'm saying and try to, like, try to get him to really focus.
Not in this case, no.
Okay.
This is more about, like, the passive. You've been spending 1.5 hours, and he's just watching you and watching what's going on, and I feel like you poked
Okay, block in.
a little bit thing there with the weird
Yeah,
voice.
you may tell, like, her outlook has changed a little bit from what you're
Yeah.
normally expecting. She's less frantic than she was a few nights ago.
So Goldtooth will need to have 3 successes on this. So Wits and
Probably not hard.
Insight +1. So you have 4 dice. So it's actually not that easy.
Oh, okay. I thought you had more dice.
Yeah, no. His insight is not very good. 2 successes. No, it's gonna pass him by for now. He's not gonna...
I'm going to try to re-roll this.
Fair enough.
Okay. Oh, that makes sense. If you have noticed something off with that voice and everything, I would think that your senses will...
Oh, you're the defender, though, so you lost.
No, he's not the defender. Kate is the defender.
Oh!
Yeah.
I'll
Oh,
try to
shit.
convince him.
So...
Wouldn't that make me the attacker?
He's
Yeah, it does.
observing. I'm rolling this as he's been looking at you for 1.5 hours.
Oh, so my roll was a defensive roll. Okay,
exactly.
Okay, then. Get fucked.
So you are going to notice that she is decidedly colder than she was just last night. She is creepy, eerie. There's something as empathy or something behind her eyes that isn't there anymore to the same degree. She's not a ballad by any standard. This is not a person who is shark levels of completely dehumanized. But there's an edge to Kate now that wasn't there before.
Yeah, she's talking about using time as a weapon,
Yep.
rather than like a few nights ago where she was annoyed about having to refuel a Honda Civic.
Yep. So I guess with that in mind, we're going back to the coterie, and Kate and Charlie will get there. Because that's where all the surveillance equipment is, right? And
We'll meet back up. Finally,
yeah, finally.
after a quick 1 hour detour.
After a quick 1 hour detour that took a good deal more than 1 hour. It's
So I
now...
just remember this, since we were talking about like various schedules and stuff we have on the books, when is Charlie supposed to go to the Anarch meeting?
That is... I think that's off, because that was, like, planned a long time ago. And, yeah. You haven't heard anything from them since.
I thought I already had a name, like an address I was supposed to go to and a time.
Yeah.
Since time's been so compressed, I thought I might have a day or two left before I have to go to it. And I under some kind of compulsion to go to it because that guy gave me a role or something.
In my notes, I don't have anything for this week, so...
Maybe it got canceled.
entirely possible. But it's not tonight, anyway. That's what it isn't. So, finally, almost the entire coterie is together in one place, with Sylvester not being there. What are we planning for the rest of the night?
I think we need to go and set up this surveillance network.
That
Alright,
makes
let's do it.
sense.
Alright. Let's boogie.
Does anyone have any disagreements about that plan?
No, that sounds pretty good.
Does someone want to... What... The actual location we're supposed to meet, is it a public one? Is it like a diner or something else, or...?
Yes, a diner. Pizza
It's
place,
diner.
apparently.
Okay.
Yeah.
In that case, maybe one of us wants to go in there and order some pizza.
That would make sense.
I'll go.
So, we're out in the streets again, aren't we?
Yep.
Are we all going in the one van, or do we want a second vehicle?
I'll go by myself just so that we don't look like. Let's say I
That
go.
makes sense. Three of us go in the van, you go in your own car.
Yeah, and let's say we arrive like something like 15 minutes apart, so we don't look like we're together.
Very
On
well.
the way, if I'm driving the surveillance van, on the way there, we stop at a gas station and pick up 2 jerry cans of fuel. Charlie's been paranoid as hell about this operation, and just thinking through all the stuff that could possibly go wrong.
I
Obviously
don't
fill up
even
the
know
van as
why.
well.
It's strange
And
to me.
just for the sake of continuity, Kate does have her gun with her.
That makes sense, yeah. So who's
Tell
leaving
me-
the Haven first now? Is that going to be Ivy then?
Flip a coin.
Yeah, let's
fuck
say-
it.
What?
Oh, I was just gonna say flip a coin if we couldn't decide.
I think
I'll go.
Ivy should be the last one to leave, because
Okay, you guys go.
if the rest of us are in the position and Ivy goes in, we'll be able to assist. But if Ivy goes in first and something goes wrong, Ivy's dead.
That makes sense.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah. All right.
Also, just be aware, like, Ivy's car and getup are going to attract attention in a pizza place.
Not really. He's not like a pimp or something.
No, you're an ultra-rich person at a pizza joint at 1:30 a.m.
Yeah.
with a fancy car.
That's
They're going to
yeah.
be talking about you at the very least.
Ivy, let's see. We have rolls to make here, don't we?
Also remember Blush of Life.
I did
If
blush.
Tony-
That was a
If Tony's-
previous scene, sir.
Oh yes. Okay.
Roll them
I
down.
How hungry am I?
You have a, what, 2?
Okay, that's 2, not 3, right?
That's a 2, yes, not a 3.
Oh, okay, I'll rouse again, so let's see what happens. Oh,
We're back at the tattoo shop. Love how AI makes these sort of weird language choices.
what?
Look at the AI generated image. There's a shop with a sign that says Tattoon.
Because you make it's a legitimate business name, right? You make your tattoos look like it. He specializes in tunes, okay? You want your
Also,
goofy on your
what-
shoulder.
The side above it, what word ends in double N?
This one.
That's
What English word ends with double N?
It's
Not English, motherfucker.
I think it would
That's-
have to be
that-
like a name, like
It's
Clillan or something.
Lithuanian, okay? It's Lithuanian. Let's go
there
back.
you go. It's Lithuanian, and you get off that poor machine now. It's doing
Why?
its best.
only small.
It's
We
trying.
don't have time for this. It's
Dang it! It's a
anyway.
young machine trying to first steps
Get-
in this world. After Ivy, we have other people. Who are the other people after Ivy?
I'll be going with Charlie in the van.
Very well.
Yeah, I'm also gonna go inside the pedo van.
Okay, so it's literally just Ivy and then the rest of us after.
Yeah.
That makes it easy.
Why don't the person who has the highest wits and awareness, feel free to add heightened senses if you like, roll one of those rolls.
I've got 6
Oh.
dice in that. Does anyone beat that?
I think I've only got 5.
I've got 4, which would take it up to 5 with heightened senses.
Okay, so I'll roll my 6.
You
But
don't
I
even
need to
have
check.
You don't even have to
Hey,
roll your
this is
6.
not-
I've already rolled for the others, as it were. You can just
My
take half.
fire.
As it turns out, Ivy starts driving, and it's now 1:30 in the night. And sure enough, it's a beaten up old Cadillac, in fact. I think Tony might have seen it before when it was trailing him. And it's tailing Ivy's very fancy car.
Fuck. Are they just sitting nearby and just... They've got like a dozen cars just waiting to tail us when we leave?
Maybe.
This guy has hired like 5,000 goons.
Yeah. In that case, Roger, could you drive up next to them? And then I'll open the door
Roger, don't listen
inside
to
of
her.
the
She's not
van
your
and tell
car,
them
do your own
to
thing.
pull over. And hopefully we can get another live subject to ask questions of.
Look, Jan, she is not in your car. Do whatever feels right to you.
Do you
Yeah,
have,
no,
do
I'm
you
talking
have
talking
to
a-
Charlie.
Oh,
I'm
right.
good at
I'm talking
driving.
Jan's in their own car. I'm
Yeah.
talking about Kate spots this tail, and I'm just talking to Charlie and saying if you drive up alongside them, I can order them to pull over.
Yeah, we can't do that. I was just going to ask her, how good a driver is Ivy?
I don't know. Does he have any drive? Does he have any drive? No, he does not have drive.
He does not have
He's-
drive.
He's
So
okay.
he's terrible.
So you are a regular driver.
Yeah,
Yeah.
even worse because his dexterity is a 1. So normally,
Oh, yeah, no,
he's
that's bad.
Terrible.
Alright,
It
Tony,
depends on what kind of driving maneuvers he does. As long as it's wits and drive, he's fine. But if he has to do advanced stunts, it's gonna be don't. Also,
Alright,
he
so
has
Tony-
-2 on every roll that doesn't cause harm to someone right now
Got it.
because of a compulsion.
Alright, so Tony is in the back of the van and he says, fuck it, let's just tail the tail here.
Who's driving then? Out of the 3 of you, should I roll a
I think
D3?
it's
Oh no,
I
this is
think-
Charlie's van. It's Charlie driving.
Oh, Charlie's driving. Yeah, that makes sense. And he's good at
It's
driving.
Charlie's van.
So you have a dex and a drive and a specialty in stunt driving, which doesn't apply here because it's not a tailing, but you have 5 dice then, Goldtooth Charlie. If you want to try to tail these guys without being discovered.
Do we want to do that because we'll be leading them back to the place where presumably they got the job to follow us? So this may freak them out if we let them get all the way to diner we are going to.
Look, that's fine. I'm okay. I can handle freaky situations. I can do freaky.
That
Right
sounds
now, we were tasked
weird
with
out of
gathering more
context.
information, not killing them.
All right, so yeah, I'll do the tail.
Very well.
If they get freaky, I'll match their freak. Okay.
Again,
Not without
weird
breaking the
out of
masquerade.
context.
That one's going in the quote channel.
So what was this again? Drive and what was it?
You're trying to tail them. I think we're gonna use. Are we using? I think we're using wits because you're keeping track of where they are. So wits and drive together. So that's 3 successes, taking half, and you have no idea of how good they are at their driving skills. So I'm gonna tell you whether or not you need to roll at all. It turns out you don't need to roll at all. They are not even noticing you. You're just driving smoothly behind them, and everything is just fine.
We've got a nice bit of distance. We're not obvious.
Exactly.
In that case, Ivy gets a pizza. Drives up to the curb.
Ivy's gonna get a pizza. Ivy is coming out
Have I been told to get a particular type?
at a particular pizza place, yes?
No, a particular type. Like a.
Oh,
like,
no,
Give me the 12
No, I
inch
didn't
margarita.
think that. Kate didn't think that level of micromanaging was necessary.
Oh, no, I thought maybe that was part of the spice I had to do was like.
Do you not know how to order a pizza?
I do know how to order a pizza, okay? I was just wondering if I had to order a specific type for some spice.
Like
shit
the
that you
pizza
like.
kit.
Your job is to go in there and observe to see if anything's out of the ordinary. That's
Okay,
what
great.
you signed up for.
Okay.
Do you have the merit where you can eat food?
No, but I'm fake. I've got.
You can fake it.
subterfuge. Yeah, I can fake it.
You can eat and then throw up later, unless you get into low humanity like me, in which you just can't.
I was thinking of pretending to eat and shoving it up my jumper or something.
Let's...
With your suit, you
Shoving
think you
it
can
up your
stealthily
jumper.
eat a pizza.
Really?
Ivy, I don't know how to eat at a pizza place, Davenport.
I think that would be a heroic difficulty to hide pizza slices in a pristine suit without drawing attention.
It's just an expression. Up your jumper, under the table, in the dog's mouth, whatever.
Yeah.
I
The
didn't
pizza is not
mean up
important right now. It's more the fact of you ordered the pizza.
Yeah,
Maybe try
and
to
sit
make it
down.
as complicated as possible.
Yes,
And
yes,
then-
that's what I was saying. That I
Then
was
use all
going
of
to
your
make it.
wits and awareness to figure out if anything's up with this place.
Great. Okay, no, we're sorted.
Oh my god.
It's
So-
all fine. It's all good. I can see nothing going wrong here, you guys.
This is the terrible plan. I'm
You
going to go in
volunteer.
and order like what's the biggest size this place does?
Most
I don't
places
know.
it's family.
Calzone family style. I don't know.
And also, just a thought, this is Chicago. They may be really particular about their pizza. And if you order the wrong thing, you might get run out of town on a rail.
You'll get lynched if you order it wrong.
No, you get your Chicago style pan pizza. That's what you do.
Exactly. If you fuck this up, they will kill you.
Obviously.
And while Ivy's walked into this pizza joint,
Yeah.
what's happened to the tail? What have they done?
The tail is going like behind and parking a little bit a ways away, but when he's walking up to the pizza joint, the tail is You know what? I think they're going to just stay in the vehicle for now. Inside the pizza joint, Ivy, it's 1:30, and you'll see a group of 3 teens who are dressed in streetwear, and they are certainly... There is a pizza. They seem to have eaten half of it. They have pops, like sodas. We call it pop north of the border. Deal with it, Yanks.
Okay.
And yeah, there's the absolutely, for Ivy, absolutely disgusting smell of human foodstuffs being prepared here, even this late at night. It's an all-night open place. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. This is a question Ivy wouldn't need to ask. This question. At a pizza place in the 90s in Chicago, would you get chips as well, or would it be just pizza and maybe some
I
wedges?
have absolutely no idea.
Wait, you get chips with pizza?
Wait, what? What the fuck? What kind of restaurant?
When
serves
you
chip-
order pizza, you get pizza.
Exactly. Is this like an Irish thing? Wait, Jan.
Yeah, like in a like when I eat pizza here, like I get pizza and loaded chips.
Yeah, okay, that's an Irish thing, dude.
Yeah, we're hungry people.
You're not ordering a chip buddy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's some freak shit. All right then.
Exactly.
Okay.
We are judging you harshly for that one.
Okay.
El Duente is judging you harshly for that one.
Send you the. Remind me to send you the menu of my local shipper.
You
my local
definitely
pizza place.
should.
And the local shipper too, if I can find them. I think they're so old-fashioned they don't actually have a.
What's wrong
a
with the
website.
British? Jesus.
Oh, in
Thinking
Ireland,
about
when
it
you have-
now. Oh yeah.
in Ireland, when you have fish and chips, what sort of fish is it?
It's usually cod.
All right, that's like a south of England thing. In the north of England, it's haddock.
It might be haddock. Like it's mostly cod. It might be haddock if you had bad luck.
Thinking about it now, Kate realizes that Charlie would have been a much better operative for this particular bit of the because Charlie looks like a person who would order pizza at 1:30 a.m. and also
I
has
have
heightened
the window
senses,
and
so would be
someone-
able to hear all the way into the back of the shop without
Yep.
trouble.
But on the other hand, Charlie would be a terrible choice for this because he is not going to use Blush of Life unless he absolutely, and because he's at like zero hunger, he is not going to risk actually feeling full for the first time in a long time, unless until like basically he loses that, like one morning he just gets hungrier. Until then, he just is preserving.
He's just absolutely enjoying the fact that
Man,
he's
he really
full.
should have waited for Sylvester, huh? He would have been the normal.
Yeah,
Fuck.
I guess.
Ivy's normal, except he's rich.
Charlie,
So-
can you hear what they're saying in the? If we got closer, do you believe you'd be able to hear what they're saying in their car?
Oh, he definitely would be able to.
But also, we've got all sorts of surveillance equipment. What do we actually have? We have like directional microphones, or do we have a radio scanner? Can we hear if there's traffic, like radio traffic going on around here?
Yes, you could do that. So, okay, let's go through.
I can
let's go
assist
through
Charlie,
each one
or
here.
Charlie can assist me with tech roll.
Let's go through each one here. Ivy is in the pizza place ordering a pizza and looking at the 3 young people who are looking at him. Kate and Tony and Charlie, you're sitting in a car a bit away while
was sitting
you're
in a
looking
van,
at
but
a different car with people in it.
To be clear, your van is one of those white vans. It's just nondescript, right?
Yeah, we couldn't use a band van with the mural painted down the side.
Yeah, so we're not in a car, we're in a white van.
You're in a white van and you're looking at the Cadillac that you have been following in turn, right?
Yes.
And there are people in there, but you don't know exactly how many. Actually, Charlie has heightened senses and will be able to use those heightened senses for free to see that it's 3 young people dressed in street clothes, you're very surprised to hear, they have the same street colors as some other people you've seen before these last few nights. It's like they're all from the same gang or something.
And actually, can we do a streetwise roll to... Or have we already done this to figure out where this gang is from?
Oh, yeah,
Is they
yeah,
from
you've
this
already done
area
that.
or if they're from somewhere else?
Yeah, you've done that.
So who
So are they local to this area, or are they out of...
They're out of this area. They don't usually... This area is... I
Latin
mean...
King.
No, this is... You're not in Latin King territory anymore.
You're right. We're not. That's
Oh.
a different area.
No, this is actually their home turf when I come to think of it. Yeah.
Okay, then. So we're in their home turf right now.
Yep. No, that's the guy and that's the gal, and so yeah.
I was gonna put on a kind of an act of being drunk, and you're like, give me the biggest pizza you have with everything on it. I'm celebrating, and here, take a 50 for yourself. And I just throws it down.
You're obviously an amazing actor, so let's get our charisma performance going here.
Oh,
Performance?
Yeah,
Oh.
performance. You
You're
said you were
performing.
acting. You're performing.
Oh no!
Damn it.
You could boost
You
it
could've
with
just
your
walked up there and
presence. Oh
not
right,
done
you don't
that.
have any.
Man, I was definitely the best choice to send into this fucking.
Also,
pizza place.
You have
Hey.
-2 on the roll because of your
Oh.
harm compulsion. You just want to be mean to people, like those kids who
Oh,
are
actually, so
obviously
since I
wasting
forgot about my
life.
harm culture, can I be mean ordering this actually instead of the whole being
Right,
like
yeah.
pissed off? Be like, I'm like, oh, I'm so annoyed. This.
So
you
you're
didn't
gonna
go the way-
bark
well,
at
you better make that
the-
right, or I'll make you eat it.
You're gonna
Good for nothing,
bark
bread.
at the clerk working the cashier. So that's gonna be
Yeah.
why don't we do a charisma intimidation check to do as many willpower damage as you possibly can on the poor clerk?
Why did you volunteer for this?
'Cause I like getting involved. That's Ivy's thing.
But
Like-
you're not good
Okay,
at
then.
it.
Man,
The Odd Job Gang is on the case, and it's the most competent coterie ever.
No,
Exactly.
I think it was like who wants to do it, and Ivy immediately said, "I'll do it." So I was like, "Okay, you've got a
Oh
plan.
my
You know
God.
what you're doing. You've got some ideas."
Oh my
Yeah.
god, a messy critical.
I have. Oh my god.
Oh, okay.
Jesus H Christ.
Just remember, you're trying not to look like a vampire.
Yeah.
That was the main goal, to figure out information about them, not give them
Yeah,
information
that
about
does.
you.
This doesn't happen. This is a messy critical. It's the beast who wins. Oh dear.
There goes stealthy.
There goes stealthy. I think Ivy, do you want to describe your messy critical, or should I?
You know, since it's the beast taking over, I feel that's the DM's job.
All right.
Or
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, I can.
'Cause
I
I
can
might-
detail anything here.
Mm.
I was gonna ask. Oh, that means that Charlie is listening to this. Okay. We're gonna have a bit of growling here, because clearly that's coming out. So Ivy is basically just gonna reach across to the 17-year-old working the cashier, and just pull them. Let's see. It's a young lady. She's probably a 17-year-old high school student, or 18 or 19-year-old college student, just trying to make ends meet, working this pizza place to pay for her college tuition or something of the sort. And
Ultimate Karen.
and you're just grabbing her at her collar and just pulling her across and going, "I'm so tired of this night. You give me..." And what would... Yeah, just a pizza! And
With everything
you're
else.
just standing there looming. "I'm looking for someone. You're gonna tell me everything you know." And the kid is just wide-eyed, and the hand is twitching towards the counter. The beast is rising to you because that hand is obviously going towards some kind of panic button or what have you. And you can hear
now
yourself
we know
going,
it's a front.
you
No
don't
pizza joint has a
understand.
panic
And
button.
it's like your teeth are coming out at this point. You will tell me, or I'll show you what it looks like when someone begs with their last breath. And you just smacks your hand like full fist down at the counter, and the clerk is just falling down at the other side of the counter. The 3 kids are standing up and backing into a corner, and I think they're gonna run away. And the clerk behind the counter is lying there in a puddle of their own pee by now. And what do you want to know? What do you want to know? What do you want to know? Because they just took 5 willpower points, 5 points of superficial willpower points, and given that they're regular humans, that's at least 1 aggravated, if not more. He's gonna tell you everything. She's gonna tell you what you want. Hi, who do you want to talk to? I just work here, man. I just don't harm me. I'm just working here.
Why? Oh, I no. But is my beast still in control?
Not anymore, and the harm compulsion is gone because you absolutely smashed that harm button. So you're back in control and going, oh.
This went wrong. This went hard. I guess.
Espionage is so easy.
Yeah. I guess I'll ask her what's the deal with the gang, or who runs this pizza place?
Tony?
Wait, Tony?
No,
Okay, maybe not Tony, because it's not Tony. It's...
That's really funny. There should be 2 Tonys. This is hilarious.
Okay.
Do it.
Tony is such a unique name.
It is a unique name, yes. Tony Fratelli. Tony Fratelli. He's just my boss. There's gonna come like the pizza maker, the chef is coming out from behind the counter. He's holding his dough roller in his hand, and he's coming out there. Do we have a problem here? And he has a little 5 o'clock shadow, and yeah, that's what he's doing.
Kill him. Anyway.
No, see, I've screwed up my whole quiet thing. Oh, this is what. Oh, okay. In a 101, that would be subterfuge, not performance, right? A lie, or even
What was that?
An acting thing would be subterfuge, not performance. If I focus my attention on him and tried to social my way out of this, I could.
You can subterfuge your way out of this, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so what I'll try to do is I'll act like I'm just coming down from a cocaine high.
Okay.
And I'll be like, what? Where am I?
What? No, I'm confused.
I'm confused. What's going on?
Yeah, I don't recall ever being in this side of Chicago before. Is this even Chicago? Where am I?
Get lost here, you junkie. You hear me? We're not serving your kind.
Okay, sorry. I guess
Clearly
Irish
you
here.
bought it.
Yeah, I guess I took the wrong stuff. Here's
No dogs, no Irish. Get out.
Here's a Franklin for your trouble. And I leave a hundo on.
Before you do that, out in the car, Charlie has probably heard this entire thing. Kate and Tony, I don't know what you've been paying attention to, but you've definitely seen 3 young people getting out in the street, and one of them is... All of them are going to go to a car that... I think Kate will recognize, the beat-up Volkswagen Beetle, the one that trailed you earlier tonight.
Alright. Tony says to Charlie, so what happened there? Here.
Oh yeah, you wouldn't have even had to ask that, because just as it was happening, Charlie was like, Ivy's spinning out, we may have to go get him. And just had his hand on the door. But
As
then,
a human spin out, or does he? Do you think he revealed himself?
And then as he gets it back under control, nowhere. He's covering it up, he's just pretending to be a rich asshole. Again.
Okay. Which point she's gonna mention we've got movement from the cars. I think we should focus on them right now.
Alright, do you hear anything from them?
Can I hear any conversation going on in the car?
Sure. You should be able to hear things. Let me just... I'm just taking notes for absolutely no reason, as always.
I'm taking notes about you taking notes for absolutely no reason.
Of course. We are doing
And I'm doing
notes
that
and counter notes
For
here.
no reason.
Charlie doesn't speak Spanish, but if the conversation is in Spanish, he'll just repeat it as verbatim as he can to Tony, so he'll know what's being said.
That makes sense. Which car are we listening in on? Because you now have a Cadillac and a Beetle.
When we arrived, I think we were trying to listen into the first car, the one that was tailing.
There was absolutely nobody in the Beetle at that point. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in the first car, yeah, they're talking to each other. You'll hear one voice going, "Are we gonna do anything?" Like, no, we just hang back, like always. Just check things out. Don't worry about it. Yeah, but I worry about it. Literally 2 of us are gone. I worry about it. These guys are freaky. Like, yeah, but we're not in Latin King's territory right now. They're not gonna mess us up unless they're leaving their territory. Then they might mess us up. And there's several conversations back and forth like this about whether this place is safe or not. They don't seem to be knowing that you have tailed them. So that's the rich guy, right? And they're obviously talking about Ivy. Do we have a beat on the other guys? Like the Latin Kings guy, he disappeared, and the rocker disappeared, and I don't know, that chick she's fed. She's probably a fed, yeah. Why are we tracking a fed? Or maybe she's just a mob boss. Maybe she runs the whole thing. I don't know.
I just guess everybody.
Sorry, that's just feeding Kate's ego, so.
I guess everybody's just sniggering as Charlie's feeding back what he's healing to them. And also, this will be a good time. We've got surveillance equipment for Kate to check any kind of radio scanner, because the way Ivy just went off, that could have kicked the hornet's nest. So if there's anything else going on around here, that could have set off radio traffic.
Yeah, so Kate's gonna look into that. She's also gonna... Does she have, like, directional microphones?
Yep.
Yeah, in that case, she's gonna point one of them out the... just drop the window a bit and point them towards the... I guess, is there levels on top of the pizza place?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, she's gonna point them towards the windows up there, just to see if there's any activity directly from there. And do you want her to roll technology for radio chatter?
Absolutely.
Intelligence technology?
Yep, that wits technology I think is better in this case.
Wits technology?
Yeah.
Sure. Will 7 dice succeed, or should I roll?
No, that will succeed. It's pretty late in the night now. We're talking here, where are we, like 2 a.m. basically. There's going to be radio chatter. No, none. If you're doing a microphone that is trying to hone in on conversations, also nothing. You might hear some snoring from, but it's not warm enough for people to have their windows open yet.
Okay.
But yeah, there is no activity above the pizza place.
Do any of the buildings around this pizza joint look abandoned? Or look condemned?
Yeah, yeah, there's definitely a building looking condemned.
'Cause that's normally a good cover for these sort of things.
It is a good cover for these sort of things.
So if she
And
can
also-
try to point the microphones at that to see if there's any... literally, if there's any sounds that aren't like rats coming from those buildings, then something's up.
You know what? I feel like I should go into Requiem and find out what a shotgun microphone does to augment your... Because of course, this edition doesn't have that sort of thing.
Yeah, it just has tools that give 1 dot or 2 dot bonuses.
It has... yeah. So, I feel like this could have... You couldn't have given us more structured game... Okay. Now everybody will say, I'm a bad
you could,
GM.
You could flavor it as it works as enhanced senses hearing, but only at a very limited target.
Probably, yeah. So, let's see. Because I know there's like a surveillance equipment. +2 to the dice. Yes, that's it.
Okay, so it's an awareness roll? Or technology?
It's an awareness +2, yes. I guess equipment technically gives +2 successes, though, because it's like weapons, but for other roles.
So would this be a wits technology +2, or...
Let's do it
wits
with
awareness?
technology, and you get 2 extra successes, because we're running it
Okay.
like weapons, I guess. I'm confused about how they use tools in this system. Like, for weapons, they do extra damage, but other tools do extra dice bonuses.
So that's 6 successes.
Damn.
Heck of a lot of successes. Well, then. You know what? You are pretty sure, Kate, that you hear some kind of move. Like maybe it's a foot scraping over a floorboard? Or something like that?
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
That could be a homeless person. I was hoping for...
Okay, that's fine. I'll get him too.
Tony, can you be stealthy?
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. Can he
Can?
be?
Yeah, like my character actually does have pretty good stats when it comes to stealth.
Okay. Could you check out that place? Obviously, we need to avoid the young gangbangers here, because they don't know anything. They could be useful as cover later, but they don't know anything important.
Alright.
And also
Why?
keep
Why do you want me to go in there?
I'll keep the equipment trained on that window, so if you need assistance, give a shout, and I'll hear it, and we'll come in.
Alright. Did you hear someone in there?
I heard the sounds of movement, but it's... I don't think it's what we're looking for, but it could be a witness or something else.
Alright, and I'll head up
At this time of night, but I imagine the homeless wouldn't be moving around at this time, they'd be asleep. And it did sound like it sounded like the weight of a person moving. Is that a
Alright,
fair?
now.
Shame you didn't hear somebody praying in Latin. That'd have been way more.
That was what I was hoping for. Or the sounds of quiet chanting, or guns being cocked, or
Alright,
something
stay
that
away.
could give us a
I'll head
better
up.
read.
And just one other thing to narrow this down. From the premonition there was where we saw the vision of the witch hunters and their view of Chicago. Just roughly, is that the area we're in? Does it match up with that view?
Not really. Very hard to tell.
Wasn't that vision indoors?
That was Sylvester's vision. Yeah, but there was also a vision of looking out over like the city from a window, and that was definitely a taller building than this one.
Yeah, because I was
Alright.
thinking it wouldn't make much sense for the hunters to be meeting like their gang contacts, like either in their own building or so near. So they are probably somewhere else, and they just come here to meet the gang. But it could still be something.
Yeah. All right. The gangbangers here are probably busy watching Ivy.
Oh yeah.
Little
There's no sign that they're going towards, and Charlie can hear. Joe, did you see that? Something ain't right about that dude. Ain't no way that's normal. Nobody freezes like that for some punk barking orders. Shut up. We ain't looking for no trouble with that kind of freak.
All right. Yeah, I guess I'll roll then. This is probably going to go horribly. It goes horribly.
It's not horrible. It's 2 successes.
I'll reroll this.
Wow, you're really hungry.
Yeah, he's
I
really
know.
hungry.
If this is a homeless guy, he's dying.
Oh, fuck. No, he's a witness.
You are
Wayne.
so nice to your people, aren't
Well,
you?
I don't get a choice. Might not get a choice in this. Okay, if I bite him, there's gonna be a frenzy check.
The Odd Job gang, always reliable. Very reliable.
All right then. Good news, maybe good news, is that Mikkel did feel the need to do a willpower reroll and only got 1 success. However, it was a critical. I'm really fucked, or I'm good.
I do like how Kate comes across as the most held together, but she is the one with the messiest shit.
Tony,
She
you
just
are,
knows how to compartmentalize and keep it out of your stuff.
Right, you're moving out of the car and you're sneaking, and I have a feeling that, yeah, absolutely nobody among the teens in the various vehicles are noticing you, which is probably intentional. You're sneaking behind various vehicles, you're trying to break lines of sight, and you're then speeding across the street and towards the abandoned house in question. Kate will definitely now hear sounds from inside that particular place where you were pointing your shotgun mic. Someone is whispering to each other. You can't really make it out even at this distance because of this distance. If you were a bit closer, you would probably hear it. But there is a lot of shuffling in there and a lot of huffling, I guess. How many words can I make synonymous to shuffling can I make up? None, it appears. There is movement, footsteps, someone is grunting a bit, and then the sounds get more distant. They're moving away from close proximity.
Yeah. Alright, and I like to say that once Tony gets close to the building, he has his pistol out. He's ready.
That makes sense. Yep, you're getting close to the building. I don't hear any alarm from Kate here going on, so let's go, Tony. How are we? We're sneaking into the building, aren't we?
When I heard him, when I heard speaking, did I hear a second voice or just mumbling?
You think there was 2 voices in there, yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
It's perfectly safe for Tony, therefore.
If Tony's gonna look back towards the car, because I don't have a means of communicating with him aside from if he looks back. Like, he's got to the building and looks back.
All right, I'm gonna roll a coin. I'm gonna flip a coin then. If it's a 1, I don't look back. If it's a 2, I do. Fuck.
Shame.
That's sad. Yeah, you're going in towards the abandoned building and have no idea of what might be in front of you. Why don't you roll another dexterity stealth check here? Of course, to get into the abandoned building. How are we getting in? This is boarded up, so you're gonna have to find some way in. Oh,
this is a larceny check.
Larceny is absolutely a thing you can do. You know what? I don't think it's gonna be even terribly hard. You're good at larceny, and this place is not difficult to get into at all. So, pretty straightforward, yeah. You can take half and just get yourself in.
Got it.
Basically, it's a boarded up place where there are loose boards, so it's only a matter of time before you find the place where all the homeless people have been getting in, or local junkies have been getting in, or teenagers who just want to make out and make sweet love to each other.
Lettuce.
Yeah, all the things. So you are now inside the dusty, abandoned house and sneaking. You're roughly where you're going. And do we need...
If they're shuffling around in there, I could probably do like a reactive awareness check to hear something in there once I'm inside.
Sure. Wits and awareness, please. This is going to be a bit more difficult, obviously.
Damn!
5! How is a masquerade? This is a compulsion, I think, because you're not taking any active actions. Should I roll for you, or should you roll for me?
Oh no. Yeah.
Harm. That tracks.
Yes.
You want to beat someone up. If you don't go to beat someone up, you have a -2 and everything.
Okay.
You will hear towards the back of the building, like on the other side of the building, there is movement. People are moving quickly but quietly across the stone floor towards the other exit.
All right, and I sneak over to where that noise is, with my gun out. Just
You're gonna see, as you get up to the exit, you're gonna see a car speeding off into the distance. And you're gonna shoot it because, or are you?
oh,
Maybe just get the license plate.
shit. You're right. I feel like that'd be another awareness check, don't you think?
Yep, but you have a -2 because you're not actually doing harm.
Shit, you're right. That's fine. That's fine.
Wits and awareness -2, so that's gonna be 3. I want some successes here. It's gonna be, oh yeah. Nah,
Fuck
that's
me.
not gonna be enough. That is a bestial failure on top of everything else. A messy critical and a bestial failure. We get everything today, ladies and gentlemen.
I really want to fuck someone up.
Apparently, yes.
How far away are they?
Oh, they're
Like, because they were in the same room as him,
yeah.
and now suddenly
it's-
they're speeding
it's
off in
like-
a car?
Yeah, exactly. No,
Okay.
they were on like the upper floor, but while Tony went to the building, they went away from the upper floor and down to the lower floor. And when he got into the building, they were heading to the backside. Because they were moving at the right moment, Tony didn't actually get there. He was sneaking, remember? He wasn't running, so he didn't catch them up.
Yeah, all right.
And he didn't catch their license plates either.
God damn it. All right,
And
at least-
inside you, there is a wolf who wants to beat those guys to a pulp.
Chase after them! Chase after them! Chase after them!
Just kill them all. Right,
All
Tony?
right, then. Yep. Oh, I do want to do a bit of right now. Maybe just a bit.
So what kind
I
of
guess,
damage do you want to do?
All right, so I guess I sneak back to where Kate and Charlie are.
Yeah. Before you do that, I'm going to ask, because you've been away now for a moment here, Ivy, Kate, and Charlie, what you guys are doing. Ivy, you're in control of yourself. You've left the pizza place now.
Yeah, I'm looking for the van so I can go and apologize to the guys for effing things up.
All right, so you're going to the van. And you're going
Okay,
into the van.
you are smart enough to know that is the opposite of what you would do.
Yeah, because then they would know that you were there too.
Oh, yeah, sorry, that's a good point. Sorry, I
Yeah,
completely
you
forgot.
are smart enough to know that is the opposite of...
Ivy does not have a wits of 1. This is true.
Yeah, like you came
Yeah,
in your
okay.
own car, get in your car and drive off.
Yeah, that's what I'll do because I don't want to.
If you
I'll
bring the
apologize
pizzas
later.
to the van, that
Yeah,
I like
just
to
blows
think though that
everything
before
up.
you
I'll apologize
take a few
later, I
steps
guess.
in the direction of
Yeah,
the van, but then realize you're going the wrong direction.
Because like, that means the pizza people would be looking at the van. The gangsters would now be looking at the van.
I was just about to say, if they had carried on towards the van, Charlie would have been starting the engine and driving off before he could get to the van.
Which also would have drawn attention. But
Yep.
I think it's...
I were Tony and you fucking did that, I would stake you for that shit.
But I think the best course of action is if you... I guess if Jan just goes home.
Oh, fuck me.
Sorry, not Jan.
Ivy.
Ivy. If Ivy
Yeah.
goes back to either his house or the
I'll
Haven,
go back to
because
the-
they already know about the Haven.
Yeah, I'll go back to the Haven because Ivy does feel like he needs to apologize, so he'll stay around so he can apologize for effing up.
Very well.
And it's at this point that I think it's like, can we set up?
Yeah,
Can we set up surveillance equipment?
I think the Cadillac will follow Ivy. because the people in the Beetle, he saw them before, so they're not going to be the ones following Ivy. Obviously, I don't know if Ivy is aware of this, but it doesn't matter because you guys will be aware of it. Or will you? Maybe you're too busy. No, it's pretty obvious. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the
Right now,
cat is
it's
following
probably best
Ivy.
if we follow the people that aren't following Ivy, because they're probably going to go straight home.
The people who are not following Ivy are actually going to go back into the pizza parlor the moment Ivy turns a corner. And that's
okay,
at the
this
point...
is absolutely perfect. We've got all our surveillance equipment. Now somebody just needs to go and put a homing device on the Beetle.
We don't have one of those.
I think you do.
They don't exist yet.
No, they
Yeah,
do, definitely.
Alright then, look.
They're
I have
just
an
really
idea.
big
We
and
don't have a
clunky.
tracking device. I have an idea. It's not a good one, but I do have an idea. If we're really devoted to getting something inside these guys' car and fall...
Let's see now. Vehicle, the first commercial car navigation system. No, that's not.
Because you've said
Putting-
multiple times
No, that's
in this
not.
campaign that GPS isn't a thing.
No, GPS
and
isn't
that's
a
what.
thing.
But that's what you'd use to track something like this.
No, but you treat
Now
it
it
like
is.
a walkie-talkie type of thing.
Yeah,
Where
back in
where
those
it
days,
it has a kind of
it's
a range.
Yeah, it's a radio receiver that sends out the signal, so you can say. For those of you who remember, the first time I remember in a movie that like a spy device, like a tracking device, was introduced is actually Goldfinger in the 60s.
Yeah.
So by the 70s and 80s, these things do exist, but it's big and clunky stuff, and it's radio based, not GPS. Yeah. This is... I can't find it right now because for some reason it won't tell me. But yeah.
In that case, I guess. Charlie, are you? Oh, Charlie,
It's
you're
like-
quite dexterous. Could you sneak over and put this in their car?
It's like a big chunky thing that you attach to it. It's very easy to find for those who want to fade it. But it's going to go... You would have to have the receiver on the other end, so it's not going to be over a phone or anything like that. It's going to be like a clunky, almost like a radar set. And it's going to go like beep, beep on that radar set, basically. Because we're doing the old-fashioned way. Yeah, it's a radio apparatus that is sending out a signal to you on a regular... like every 10 seconds or whatever.
It's just because Kate's dex is nothing special, and her stealth skills, and she's got larceny, so she could probably open the boot to put it in there.
Possibly.
But
So, mobile data terminals to access and No, there we go. No? Okay. It's not allowing me to. Old school, yeah. Anyway, here we go. Let's do it! Who is gonna track the Beetle then? Because these guys have left.
If it's this level of technology, it won't have a memory, will it?
No.
It'll have to be tracked in real time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess
I'm sorry.
once we've set this, we're going to have to put some ghouls on it or something to track it during daylight hours.
if we know their rough territory, like if we know their rough gang territory, we could just drive around and check to see where the signal's strongest and follow it like that. So we'd be able to track down wherever they put their car for the night. During the day, if they've got it sitting somewhere. But if you've got ghouls to do that, sure.
So what is it to install the tracker?
I would like you to roll a stealth check, obviously, somehow. Let's know, but it's also technology, right? To install it properly. How about Dex and
What, a stealth roll?
technology?
Yeah, that works.
That's a strange rule.
I know,
I like it.
but we're abstracting everything together. Instead of doing 2 rolls, we're doing 1.
So that would only give me 2 dice.
That would
Kate
give you
bet-
6 dice.
Yeah, Kate is gonna
So-
be able to do it easily because she knows exactly where to put this thing.
I was thinking maybe there'd be 2 rolls, one of them to stealth up and open the boot, and another one to install it.
You don't have to put it in the boot. You can put it like
Oh, we don't?
inside the wheel, like the
Yeah, it's magnetic, so
yeah, or
it
next
kind of-
to like underneath it, next to the exhaust pipe, like on the
like these things
ga-
are chunky.
Yeah, they're very chunky. It's gonna say clunk as it attaches.
Yeah.
But with that lovely roll, you're gonna get it done absolutely. Meanwhile, Charlie is going to hear, because you are probably still listening to the thugs in the pizza place with your heightened senses. You're gonna hear how they are picking up a phone. And hey man, don't close up just yet, man. We just need to make a phone call. Promise. Jesus Christ, just let us. Apparently, the pizza owner the manager wants to close up early tonight because there was an incident earlier. Who knows what might have caused that? So yeah, they're picking up a phone, and you can hear the clickety-click of people putting quarters in a payphone, and then you can hear the clickety-click of people turning the dials of the payphone, and you can hear leave a message after the beep, and you can hear someone say, yeah, this is team 1. We saw the subjects, and they really scared the shit of the clerk here. She truly pissed herself. And this was like the rich guy with the nice like silk suit. And then, I don't know, he was freaky, man. Yeah, that's what happened. He just scared the shit out of the clerk. And I don't think we have anything more to report, but we're gonna keep doing the work now. I'll talk to you later. Click. Yeah, they're very, clearly very adept at the spy game here. Absolutely on top of their game. Highly
Okay, so
trained.
since it's got hyper hearing, and it was being a dial phone, could I hear how many times it clicked back so I know what phone number they called?
You know what? That's an excellent question. I'm going to call that difficult at the very least. So that is hard. Give me 5 successes on a wits and awareness check and add your auspex. Because that was a very good. You need to remember exactly how many clicks there was. This was not like a tone dial phone. It was the way it was back in the day with the rotary phones. You could hear which numbers were being dialed by the amount of clicks the rotary device went through.
And so do I need to set the difficulty at
It's a
something?
5, yeah. If you roll like that, I think it's clear that you do get the phone number.
Yeah, very nicely done.
Incidentally, it's not the same phone number as Ramon, your prisoner, had given you.
He was probably part of a different team.
Tony, what are we doing? You're coming back across the alleys here. Nobody's seen you yet. You're screamingly hungry. The beast wants its due. The beast is... Can't we just beat up the street kids in the pizza place? They're working for these assholes, aren't they?
Yeah. I guess I knock on the door of the van, let Kate know I'm there, and then
Yeah.
enter and say, all right, so the asshole inside us just saw me. There was another one with him, and they went out back into a car and sped off.
So-
Okay, from what we can tell, the gangsters outside are part of a cell. We don't know what they're connected to yet, but we've got good information now. I don't think we... Capturing them, if they've been built right, this team won't know anything about anything else. But with my technology role, could I try to track down where that number is?
Absolutely, you can do that. You'll need a computer, of course, and access to city registries and whatnot.
Yeah, it's not something that will be done quickly, but it's something that can be done to track down where that physical number is connected to.
Yes, it is. You'd have to go back home to your haven to do all this.
Obviously, yep.
Yeah.
But I think at this point, our best plan is to get out of here without arousing suspicion.
There is just one last thing I want to try. This is an extreme long shot. Because both Charlie and Tony have streetwise and like long criminal careers and have done shady stuff like this before. I wanted to get a description of the car Tony saw fleeing, although we don't have the number plate, just basically what the car looks like. And then just do some sort of extreme difficulty kind of streetwise roll or something to just figure out if we were in this situation and we just left under those circumstances, like what would we do and where would we go? Would we be trying to leave the area? Would we like curve back around to get a look at what was going on here? And knowing the layout of the streets, where the possible routes are, and just like a 1 in 100,000 chance that we may be able to intercept this vehicle again and get on it.
Wits and awareness, please, Tony Hernandez, to identify the car this late at night. Of course, there are street lights everywhere, but you only had that much time to see it. I'm gonna say it's gonna be challenging, so 4 successes, and you have a -2 for harm compulsion.
I'm just gonna say I fail.
Okay. Some kind of Chevrolet.
Okay then.
It was a dark Chevrolet. You don't know if it was black or blue or tan or something else like that. But, you know, something.
All right.
Yeah, a Chevy. In other words, one of the most common cars available right now on the streets. Yeah.
Fuck my life.
You can't really tell which year or model of Chevrolet, but
we do have...
yeah.
We know what street it was leaving down, and we know
Yep.
what time. So
Yep.
maybe we could use one of the... If there's like a speed camera nearby or something, just...
Hey man, hold on. I just realized. Maybe they left something behind in the building.
Maybe. Right now, I don't think...
Yeah.
It could hurt to check.
It
These
might
people
hurt,
are incredibly paranoid.
but it might hurt more to not check. That's the thing.
If you want to take the risk, I suggest doing it after... Or if we leave and come around to the back entrance, or just come around to a different street, so we're not doing this all in front of the pizza joint, like entering and exiting.
That sounds good. All right.
Minimize the risk of exposure.
We'll drive the van round the back.
very well.
Yeah, I don't think we should drive actually all the way to their back entrance, but to a connecting street, just to make sure that... Just in case they've got cameras on that spot.
Right. Now we're being extra cautious.
It's always extra cautious.
There are two forms of paranoia in this world: total and insufficient. And I think you are leaning in towards the right kind. That's my take.
Yeah. If she could do, I don't know, a wits technology roll to try and spot any surveillance devices that are pointed at that building from the other side, from the other
That
street.
feels more like a wits awareness.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
You said technology.
Because it's spotting technological surveillance.
Yeah, but I feel like that's more awareness, though.
Right.
Because
It makes sense, wits and technology in sense. Like you're looking for a camera lens or...
I'm looking for hard to find surveillance equipment.
Yeah.
Still, I don't know, man. I feel like this isn't a technology thing. This feels a lot.
No, I'm allowing it. We're using unorthodox combinations here.
All right. Your call, then.
Five successes. That's a lot of successes. That's like all sorts of successes.
Man,
To be fair,
you're
I may
rolling
find
good.
nothing. Because
And
there's
also-
nothing there to find.
And you find nothing because there's nothing there to find. if they had anything up there, they probably brought it with them.
Fair enough.
That's
Go ahead, Tony, if you want to check out the back entrance and have a look inside.
All right, one of you should probably come with me. You're Gold if you have that Auspex thing, you should probably come with me.
Yeah, do you want to stay in the van on your own, or...
I think I've got some thinking to do, so I don't mind staying in the van for a bit.
Alright, let's see if these guys got sloppy and left something behind.
As I also...
Charlie's going
Oh, no,
to
I was
go
just
into
saying,
the... I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying I don't want to leave the van unguarded just in case they do something similar to what we just did.
That makes sense. So Tony and Charlie are... So Kate is staying in the van. Tony is doing what? He's hungry. The three street people, like the gangers, they're coming out and... Let's see. I'm going to give them a chance to notice the van, because the van is, after all, the van, and they might have seen it before. Apparently, they're absolutely oblivious to everything in the world right now.
Fucking worthless spies.
So-
God damn.
They're just walking over to their beetle and sitting in there and bringing out the smokes. And yes, they're smoking inside the car because it's 1991. They're all going to die of cancer by the year 2020.
To be fair, I know a guy who smokes in the car nowadays.
Mom smokes in the car all the time.
Exactly. That isn't like a 90s thing. That's just a thing that smokers do.
Yes, but there were more smokers in those days. Charlie, are you going to stay in... Kate, Tony, that's who I'm going to ask. Are you going to stay in the car or go with Charlie? That's my curiosity.
I'm gonna stay in the car. Fuck it.
Very
I'm smart enough to know that I'm not gonna be able to help.
Okay, so Charlie is going to head into the place. We want to be careful here and not be seen, so dexterity stealth yet again.
You can probably just take half.
If
These
we're
guys are
taking
terrible.
half, then you have 2 successes. Let's go with taking half here, and we'll see if they spot you. There is a risk. If they spot you, they make no signs to the effect. So, yeah, Charlie, you're gonna get into the abandoned building and you're gonna look for things. I feel like this is gonna take a little while, right? You're taking your time, aren't you?
Yeah.
So, intelligence
using my
investigation. With taking half, you'd be at 2 successes, which is enough for some things, but how much detail you want to have? Now, that will require more successes. So, you can add your auspex to this, because it's heightened senses, so you will notice things that are not immediately noticeable for the normal human eye and ear and taste, I guess? What?
I will re-roll them if it would benefit me.
5 successes is like all you could possibly find, basically. Maybe you could find more. Why not? Feel free to willpower away. Can't hurt.
Man, we shouldn't. We've been willpowering a lot.
Yeah. And the session is coming to an end in a little bit.
True.
7 successes. So it's a good time to get those willpower spends in, just so you can recover it in the next session. Okay, Goldtooth Charlie is doing a regular Sherlock Holmes thing here and just sneaking in to the abandoned building.
He's doing a great job.
Yeah. First of all, you're going to be able to tell that there's a lot of area in this abandoned building that has dust, because people don't go there very often. But then you're going to be able to also, because your eyes are like better than human, you can see what would be a murky darkness for a regular human becomes almost as bright as a sunny day for you, or at least under a bright light for you. as your eyes just adjust to the dark as if you were a cat or something. You're gonna see traces in the dust, and thanks to your acute senses, you're gonna be able to tell just how long ago it was that these various traces were made. So you can differentiate between the traces in the dust that comes from the homeless person who slept here 3 nights ago, but then left. You can differentiate from, oh, this corner here was used by probably 3 or 4 junkies. You can even see the dead vials that they've left behind, like the little glass vials, and probably a needle. And that was probably 8 days ago, yeah, judging by how much dust has settled. And so on and so forth. Just that level of granularity here. And as you're continuing, you will be able to find the actual traces of the people who were here this night. There's only one set of such tracks. They go up to exactly the window that Kate identified. There are less dust in this room than you would have anticipated. It's almost like they've been here several times, like several nights or days, hard to tell. But there's enough here to conclude that just looking at the traces on the windowsill and on the floor, they must have had like decent apparatus, either a camera with a good telescopic lens or just a serious set of binoculars that you can mount on a tripod or something. Because you find the traces of the tripod, like the little rubber on the bottom of the tripod feet. There's got some rubber, and that has left some marks on the floor that are all but invisible to everyone but you. There are footprints, of course. Also, it's not enough for you to necessarily make a cast here or like a footprint, like a rubbing. But there's 2 sets. One from a gentleman, probably, judging by the foot size, of average height, if it was a gentleman, or from a lady who's wearing very gentlemanly shoes and is very tall. The one is from a very tall person. We're talking here like 6 foot something. Pretty big size feet. Scuff marks on broken concrete, a patch of grime wiped clean at the window where they would have been watching out. There's a small scratch on the windowsill. There's a couple of, let's see, I think, yeah, jammed behind a couple of bricks almost. There's some rubble. Food wrapper. Looks like McDonald's burger. Yeah. You can smell, because you have heightened senses, you can smell the smell of stale coffee and sweat. Yeah. There were humans in here. There's some wet footprints as well here and there, because of course it's still the wet season. Either it's snowy or it's raining. And some straight lines disturbing the floor. They must have had a duffel bag. And you can follow their boot marks towards the back exit. They were definitely in a bit of a rush, and you can see a bit of snagged thread, fabric thread on a nail jutting out from one of the stairwells, and you would make it out as some kind of, I don't know, fine grained, like, it's gray? Is it from a suit, maybe? And yeah, that's basically it. 2 people, equipped, apparently knew well enough to get out of there before Tony got close.
So I'll come back down to the van and report what I found, along with the potentially disturbing supposition that this was all a lure. Why would they be keeping surveillance just on the cafe where they hired the gang? Maybe they set the gang up.
If
Knowing
you
that
remember
you
several
can,
hours
but-
ago, I did explicitly say this was a trap.
You did.
I didn't kinda, I did. I said this is 100% a trap, but if we're going to have to put surveillance on it, I guess that means we're going to have to go there.
Yep.
That's why
So
I stopped
while we-
looking at the pizzeria pretty quickly.
So while not exactly a trap, it was presumably a scheme to lure us in front of cameras. They were just sacrificing the gang to do it.
There's also the thing, it's a trap in the sense that they now have more information about us than they did before. Presumably. So Jan's behavior... Not Jan's behavior, sorry. I keep saying Jan. Ivy's behavior in the restaurant was exactly what they were looking for.
Basically every contact we have with these people, the chances of convincing them that we can live peacefully with humans gets further and further away.
Why would they believe that? Why would we believe that?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, vampires in the vampire, like, I basically believe that they're just objectively, in no sane society can they, like, be allowed to exist. Just openly.
Yeah, I know, Charlie, you want to try to go back to some mythical time when we were on the same page, but at the moment, our basic theory is that these are religious zealots. You're not going to convince them. No one is going to convince them that we are not a threat.
It's them or us.
If they are truly aware of us, the problem is taking them down without attracting the attention of something bigger. Us killing them is a foregone conclusion. Us doing it quietly is the important factor. And to be fair, when I say us, I mean Kindred in general, I don't mean us specifically. That's why, at the moment, it's all an information game.
And they're currently winning hard.
No,
And-
they've tipped their hand a bit with Charlie's incredible perception to be able to get that phone number. I can use that to track down a physical location,
You're
which
right.
they would not assume we know. And if they're not expecting us there, their security is likely to be lesser, and we're more likely to get better information about their main base if they have one. Maybe we could get our hands on one of the actual operatives rather than just these cells that are attached to them. This is good work. We've made good progress. Ivy's performance was
Terrible.
shit, but it's done now, so we're just gonna have to work from this point forward. Also, Tony, I think
Yeah?
you really need to lean on the Latin Kings to get these other gangs out of their territory, because they are coming in and out whenever they want.
Yeah, I'll deal with it.
Anything else
Five-
to add?
5 hours left of the night, you guys.
There's one thing I want to add. Once we get to Pilsen, drop me off. I'll head back to the Haven in a bit.
Sure. I guess we'll speak to Ivy when we get back to the Haven. Charlie, did you want to do anything? Did you want to say anything else before before Tony splits?
Something to consider with these hunters before we get rid of them. Anybody have any information you want to slip them to get rid of a problem? You?
I'm going to rely on the expertise of the elders in how to handle this. They are much better equipped and have much more experience than we do. It is literally the job of the Camarilla to deal with this. And they are good at it.
Kate, also, you will know that it is deeply frowned upon by the Camarilla to seek a hunter at a fellow kindred, that's classified as a masquerade breach. It's just too risky.
Yeah.
So when
But
you
to
want
be
to
fair,
take out
also,
a rival,
what happened in the pizzeria was a masquerade breach.
yep. Very potentially, not necessarily for the kids in there, but
Well,
yeah.
you said fangs were shown.
Yeah, fangs were shown, but they can rationalize it. But yeah, it was technically a masquerade breach. And if a hunter or something would have seen, that would have been bad.
Yeah. I think the best bet is to lean on your very well prepared comrades, Tony. And I know you're planning to take over the gang at some point in the future, but my suggestion, maybe use this opportunity to show off. Show the weakness of the current. You show the weakness of the current leaders by how easily other gangs move through their territory. Use that as a springboard.
As
Get
you
people on
like
your side.
say this, Tony just starts smiling wildly.
Oh, Tony's gonna punch Sinbad? Is that what's gonna happen? You can't punch Sinbad. He's your touchstone.
Yeah, not Sinbad. No, he's fine.
Okay.
The others, however.
Oh,
Other
like
bosses.
the guy who is leading your security detail, or someone else? Just
To be fair,
random.
Kate has no idea about the internal structure of the Latin Kings.
Yeah,
So she doesn't know that one of them is actually important to you.
that makes sense.
So she's just formulating this as, if you play your cards, you can make this power grab almost bloodlessly.
Does that mean that we have almost the entire coterie back in the Haven?
So rare.
I'm just, like, shocked now. How did this happen?
Everyone go out to feed for an hour. Nothing will happen.
Exactly. It's gonna be fine. Before we do that, my friends, I say we pause the story here. Tony is apparently not in the Haven because he's out talking to Latin Kings, but everybody else is. And I think maybe Sylvester will walk into the Haven at about this time, because I think by the time we get back to this in a week from now, Domi might be back.
You're making big assumptions about what I'm planning, okay?
Okay. I am
the
making,
media plans to eat.
I am making.
You're not planning to successfully feed?
Maybe not. Who knows?
Fair.
Very well.
It's that
It's
point.
probably going to have a very bad time. I might just like 3 points instead of 2 to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. And
Well-
also maybe a homeless dude.
We will get to that in a week from now. So for now, apparently we have made some progress in investigations. It seems there are vampire hunters about. It seems you have to take some action to deal with that. And that problem fell into your lap for whatever reason.
I'm just thinking that maybe we should finish off the night, because otherwise we'll have had 3 sessions in the same night, which is straining the credulity of how much stats and hunger levels are changing.
I think the smart thing to do would just be to speed up the hunt and then just pretty much.
Because Kate is going to just be starting the research into tracking down that phone number, which is going to take the rest of her night.
Okay.
I don't know if Tony's going to take a prolonged hunt to make sure he gets someone really nice.
What is Tony's
I don't
plan,
know
then?
what I don't know what Charlie and Ivy would do.
Yeah, Ivy's already
But-
in the Haven, obviously, waiting for you guys.
But are you in chat?
Oh yeah, I'm listening. I'm listening to you.
Okay, so do you have something that Ivy would do until dawn?
He's waiting for you just so he could like apologize, maybe offer minor boons to the coterie for effing up.
You don't
And
need to
then,
do that. Just do better.
And then no, he'd be free for the rest of the night to. He could probably help with research or something.
Oh, fucking taxes or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know if you could look into the finances of the other gang.
Well,
If
sure.
that's something you're capable of doing. Because I
can
know
try
you've got
that.
a lot of business knowledge, but I don't know how well that translates into streetwise business.
But if they
Because
have
that
accounts, I
information
can
could
track
be
them and stuff.
helpful to either helping Tony deal with the other gang or helping
Yeah,
us deal with
I
it.
can look into their finances, no problem.
If they have official bank accounts, yes.
Yes.
Why?
That's
It's
what
more just what are the businesses nearby that they have their hands in, that sort of
Yeah.
thing. What are their revenue sources generally, rather than just. I'm not expecting like spreadsheets. I was just thinking, okay, what businesses are in their territory that they could reasonably have their finger in?
Yeah, I'll do a survey of that neighborhood. Or I'll try to find one. There should be
I'm
one in the
gonna
library.
call that an intelligence investigation because you're trying to. First of all, you have to locate if they even have a bank account. This is a street gang. They're not. You
No,
have to.
no, I'm not trying to locate if they have a bank account yet. What I'm doing is, let's say, for a circle around where we found them, right? Where that area, I'm just doing it like a survey of what businesses are there, like which ones are owned by big companies, which ones are mom and pop, which ones could be possibly front businesses, that kind of thing.
He's basically looking in the white pages and then comparing it to street addresses in their known territory.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like looking at the. Do you have this in America? It's like a list of LLCs, so you can see which one, like a limited company, has to declare itself like somewhere. Ivy knows, but Jan doesn't.
I think the white and yellow pages would probably be the biggest sources of information at this time period.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but like a limited company, for it to exist, that's a legal entity. Like its papers have to be on record somewhere. Like with the.
Oh yeah, no, I'm
that's-
not suggesting that list doesn't exist. I'm just saying, is that a reasonable thing that you could do over the next 5 hours?
Oh no, because it's middle of the night, but all those things will be closed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can look at the I look at the white pages and I compare, so I can find every business like in this mile. Let's say it's 2 pi area mile squared, and see which ones are like private, which ones are public, which ones, so that we can go down to which ones can be fronts later on.
Very well.
Oh, wait a minute. Do we have a reverse phone directory? Because if we have, and either of those two phone numbers we've got are listed, we can just find them really quickly.
I don't know if we could get a reverse phone directory. I think at this time they'd only be like owned by the phone company practically.
I think the best.
I
I
bet
know
is-
you can, because there's 3 types of like phone book. There's the normal one, which is name first. Then
Yes.
there's a thing called the crisscross phone directory, which is address first, which is they made them mainly for traveling salesmen, so they would be public available. But then there's like the full reverse phone directory, which is number first. And
Yeah,
I
and I
think these things are available.
Yeah, but I think they're available, but they're like a rare good. Like we could get our hands on a normal white page, it's fairly easy, but a reverse directory would be harder. Like we'd have to order it special or whatever. It wouldn't be something you could do in the next 5 hours.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's unless Mikhail knows better than me.
I know everything.
It was just a suggestion because otherwise the time gets a bit wonky with the amount of health changes and willpower changes and hunger changes over the last 6
What are
hours.
you talking
if there's
about?
3
You're all
nights.
being. It's this rules it is perfectly designed.
Hence why I'm just saying maybe we should just go to the next dawn and then rest and then start a fresh night next session.
So, what you will get really quickly, Davenport is creating his murder board of addresses for businesses in the neighborhood, and he's like has a map and he puts pins in them and all that sort of thing. Kate, you are on locating the phone number and tracking it down.
I'm doing a prolonged test.
Indeed.
Or the equivalent.
I'm gonna, because you're taking that many hours to do it. I'm not even gonna have you roll because this is your thing. You have intelligence technology up the wazoo. And this isn't hacking specifically. You're gonna find out. The address is an address in Newtown.
Okay. Do you want to give the results at the start of the next session?
I can do that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay then. And Tony, you wanted to do something to wrap the night up?
Yeah,
Charlie?
just a quick food and yeah.
Quick.
All right.
Nums?
Yeah. So
So
stealth.
you're gonna kill
Dex,
someone
right?
because hunger and harm.
Yep.
As long as you resist the frenzy, you're fine.
He's not gonna resist the frenzy.
Yeah.
He wants to commit harm.
Anyway, so I'm hunting in Pilsen, so that's a.
You're doing your thing, so take half.
All right then.
Um,
I guess now here's the interesting part. Frenzy check.
Yeah, that's the interesting part. You're out hunting.
Very
Okay,
nicely
wow.
done.
Holy shit.
Like, you've got a good
7
leash.
successes? Okay, you're not killing someone tonight.
Maybe. I will be taking free blood points though. They will be fucked up.
Okay, that is harm, definitely.
Yep.
Let's see, we're harming people here.
Yep. I can get rid of the harm compulsion.
Right, that does get rid of the harm compulsion. It is also, let's see now, since we're doing harm to a human here, stamina and strength and stamina against, okay, 1 I guess. So roll 4 dice here because you only took the 1 extra. Will they die? I need 1 success.
Okay,
And
nice.
Yeah, that worked.
You got a
It's a
10
good
and
thing
9.
it's not V20. Yeah, you are slaking your thirst on a hapless mortal who happens to be out in Pilsen. Might even be a gang member, who knows, or just a homeless person who happened to be
Feel
at
like
the wrong
gang-
place at the wrong time.
After Kate's talk, I like to think that it was a rival gang.
That makes sense. So this is, of course, doing harm to another person. So I think that's at least 1 stain. But you are convictions, so
Person.
you don't care.
Yep.
And
I love mine.
with that callous hunt from this slowly, he's sated the beast, but clearly at cost of humans' health. And that is, I think, where we're gonna leave our coterie for this time, as daytime is going to come and sink them all into a deep sleep. The sleep that only the dead sleep. So
Is there a channel to raid?
there is a channel to raid, actually. Yeah, let's do it, shall we?
Sure.
Let's
Ah, my
go.
fucking leg. Damn.
Yeah.
In real life, I fucking hurt my leg a little bit.
Why did you do that?
You don't get to know. Fuck you.
I do not get to know. There we
It's
go.
a mystery.
It is a mystery. Let's see. We are getting ready to raid! It's the
It's so
lollygaggers
funny.
again, because they just started their stream. They're playing
Yeah.
Cold
It's
Cthulhu.
it's so funny that as a Brujah, my whole thing is that I have a heart. But I have just pulled out like massive success after massive success and resist.
There we go. We're
It's-
coming for your blood! Anyway. Okay.
I found Brujah! Your blood.